Hello all, welcome to Ambari Cloud YouTube channel. And today I'll be presenting hooks and then Expire snapshots in Iceberg. So sometimes we make mistakes, right? But we then, as a procedure, we do Expire snapshot to reduce the time travel. Then basically, and manage the space because we don't need the time travel forever. Right. But sometimes, if you have like a 30-day time travel, but you made a mistake and then you then expire snapshots, then you lose your time travel, right? Then oops, okay. So what is a expire snapshot first, right? Then before that, what is the iceberg snapshot? Iceberg snapshots the table at a specific point of time, and also watch other videos about the expert snapshot procedures. Right? So a snapshot is status of the table at a particular point of time, and then each snapshot has own files, and then along with other snapshots that then forms the whole table. An advantage of this snapshot approach is, it includes, schema information partition, file locations. Then every time when you do a commit, right, then it creates a new snapshot. And also these snapshots are useful for time travel, right, because every snapshot has a status, right. Then once you commit, these snapshots are immutable. You cannot modify. You can roll back, right. So these are for reliability and data consistency. Right? So importance of snapshots, because each snapshot manages the schema information, partitions, and files, so you can do time travel, right? And then it also helps you for audit compliance. And then you can tag a snapshot, or you can create a branch of snapshot, and then you can retain the tag or branch for a while, and then it's easy to time travel based on the tag name, and of course tag name or branch name. Of course, you can also do it through time. So that's how, right? So it ensures consistent data. That's how the snapshots. So every time when you make a commit, right, it's creating a snapshot, and then each snapshot has the snap file, which is a manifest list file, we call, and then we have manifest file, and manifest file has location of the file, right? Once, as I said, it's immutable. Once you create a snapshot, you cannot modify. So why expired snapshot, right? So as you are updating, or committing every time when you create a new snapshot, after some, then you can do time travel, but you don't need a time travel, forever, right? Each time a snapshot creating, it creates a, for example, if you have a cow table, right, then every time when you update or delete, it's going to create a clone of the file, and then you don't need the old file, right? So we need a old file only for historical time travel. So as you are cloning more and more files, and then it explores the space. So you need to reduce the space, you need to expand the snapshot. Then also we need to expand snapshot, for GDPR purpose. If you delete a data, it's a soft delete, but we need a hard delete, then we need to expand the snapshot, right? And then it also improves the performance, because too many manifest files, and then manifest list files, then it has to read through and open, read, and then close. It impacts the performance, right? Then the keeps the snapshot relevant and manageable, because we don't we don't want forever history, right? So then it's manageable to manage it. Space, of course, benefits of expiration. We control the space, particularly cow table. We have to be very careful. If we don't do snapshots, and if we have updates and deletes, then the space is going to explode. Then when you do expire snapshot, it deletes some of the snap files and manifest files, and then of course data files and improve the performance. Then we are kind along with that you do rewrite data files, rewrite manifest files, and all that stuff. It also helps the data governance because when you delete some social security number, for example, or any audit data, or any security data. But we need to expire some of these snapshot. Otherwise, you can do time travel. You can still see the social security number, even though you think you are deleted, but it's not because it's there in the history, right? So for that, we need to do explicit expire some of the snapshots and or maybe expire the whole history. Then always keep the current version. What are the expired policies? Depends on your use case and how far you want to go time travel. Not every table needs a time travel, so then particularly when you do a lot of updates in core table or even more table. If you inserts are fine, but if you're doing a lot of updates and release, make sure that you expire. Then get rid of the old data files and snap manifest and manifest these files. Okay. So when you delete a snapshot, any manifest list, manifests, and associated data files linked exclusively to that particular snapshot will be removed. Very important. For example, let's say you do clone of a file, and then when you expire a snapshot, then since the file is all data files are already cloned, is part of your update in the core table, and so you don't need the data files, you don't need that manifest file, and you don't need that manifest file. So when you expire, it is going to be deleted. But if they are referred, in another snapshot where they want delete, we also do the diagram. Okay. Um, if they're associated with other stuff, yeah, we don't delete it, definitely, right? And then this ensures only files exclusive to that expired snapshot are removed while shared files remain intact over snapshot. Okay. So let's look at, this is the snapshot 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is current snapshot, and then, it has its own manifest list file, manifest files, and data files, right? And let's assume this is a clone of this file. Then when you expire the snapshot, we don't need this one, we don't need this, we don't need. So in this case, for example, this will assume this is a cow table, right? And then when you update, this file is entirely, and so this when you expire, this is all independent, so we can get rid of this snap file and manifest file and then data file. Right? This is how the snapshot expire works. So we know that, right? When you expire, these are files are gone, these files are deleted, and then these based on your object store, based on the storage, HDFS, it goes to the cache. Object store, yeah, you need to think where you want to move these files when you expire, right? Okay, but sometimes, as I said, oops, I don't want to run this snapshot. I want to go back to here, right? We accidentally ran, the expire, and then we want to go back to this status, right? Because somebody says, or we still want to keep this history instead of going for 0 level, right? So then what we want to do is, um, so I inadvertently triggered the expiration of snapshot, which was not my intention. So we need to rewind time. What steps should we take? Okay, we need to go back and rewind, right? And the rewind process, right? So let's look at these steps. Okay, so we know that data files are deleted. That means we need to restore those files. Okay, so the we need to go back and these files, whatever is snapped. And also remember, right, you need to remember the most recent metadata JSON, because when you expire, it's going to create a new metadata JSON, right? So make sure that you have to have this metadata JSON. So then restore files that were deleted during the snapshot expiration process back to the metadata data. So that means you need to have a process right? Part of your Expire snapshot, a backup procedure of your metadata there. So as for maintenance, as of your maintenance process, you should have a backup of metadata there, not the data there. You can't. It's massive. So their metadata directory is very small. Start taking, any maintenance process, maintenance procedure starts. You have to have a procedure. Just take a backup of the metadata. Then part of your backup, right? And for each table, then find the most before, actually, even before restore, you need to find out most recent metadata JSON, right? We always have, so take a backup of these files, then find the most recent metadata JSON before you run any procedures, right? Particularly, um, actually, particularly for Expire snapshot, right? Uh, then what you need to do is grab the table, right? And make sure when you're dropping the table, right, it's an external table, right? And then when you drop the table, make sure that the files are not being punched. So that means it should be an external table. Okay. Then you just register the table with the most recent, the metadata JSON, right, before the snapshot expiration occurs. Then validate the connection. That's it, right? So, then after that, since we are bringing back the clear files, then we're gonna do most recent metadata JSON. Then you are back to the so you're moving just before expiry. So this is how you're gonna restore back the clear. So let's do the demo. Okay, that way you'll be learning. So I have a table here, and this is more table, doesn't matter, more call. Procedure is always same. And then I'm inserting some data, and then let's look at the count. And so it's a standard power table. Watch the other YouTube, Body Cloud YouTube channel. There's a lot of YouTube's how to create a power table, more table. I compared I had a discussion between the difference between cow and more, and also how cow and more behave with meds. Look at those. So we have 20 rows, right? Then we look at the most recent. Then we look at all the metadata JSON. Let's take this metadata JSON. Let's keep it here, right? And just copy it. And just look at again the directory. Just I want to make sure. Okay. Then look at your snapshots, right? And I'm going to copy most recent metadata JSON here. I want it. Then let's do a time travel. Let's copy this, right? And okay. So on or before, after 388 here, let's run it. How many rows? 8 rows, right? And then, so what we are going to do is we can take a backup before we do, right? Okay. So these are the data metadata JSON list, right? But I'm going to take the backup of the entire directory structure. Okay. So I'm going to change this guy as well. Okay. And I'm going to create a directory, make sure the directory created. Okay. And I'm going to copy metadata directory to the backup directory, right? And then just look at our backup directory, make sure I have all the files. Okay. So I copied the metadata directory into backup directory. Since our table, we said this enable equal to false, that means when you drop the table, and don't purchase the files. So whenever you do expiration, you need to make sure you set to the this enable to equal to true. That way, then the expiration process can delete the file. Okay, so where are we going to do expire? Let's go to here. I'm going to expire this guy, right? Okay, and let's go to here. Nothing fancy here. We're gonna expire. Okay. And we're gonna expire. Let's run the expire process. Okay. Okay. So it's deleted one file, right? Manifest, because these all inserts only, right? So, but you don't delete manifest this file because we expired one snapshot. Okay. And now let's do here, right? I'm going to change my time. Then I'm going to say the time. Actually, use the 8. Okay, because we are still at the 8, right? So let's do anything other than 8. Then you will get, it cannot be expired because the snapshot is gone. How do you prove that the snapshot is gone? Now let's take the right. Let's copy this guy for this comparison. Run one more time. Now you'll see, right? This snapshot is gone, right? And then you will see only the pair. So now it's proven that we eliminated one snapshot. Okay. So now, okay. So now we need to, we already ran the Expire snapshot, right? And so then we know that we can't do time travel. Then it suits now. Okay. So what we're going to do is, right? Now we're going to copy back all the files, right? So let's look at the backup directory. Now, then when I copy whatever the files, it's not there, I'm going to copy back from, it says, it's not going to recopy the files, only files which are not. Now, what we need to do is, right, and so I'm going to drop the table. Since I'm going to drop the table, I need to make sure, right? So previous, remember, before expired, we make this one as a true. Now I need to make sure as a false, because when I drop the table, I don't want to purge all the files. I'm going to drop the table. I'm going to alter the some properties. Then I'm going to drop the table, right? And then we know the most recent JSON file before expire. I kept it here. Let's copy this. This is the let's run again one more time. Okay, you will see extra JSON, right? Because the Express snapshots creates a new JSON. Now let's take the previous JSON file, that is, which is JSON before expiration. Okay, and I'm going to copy certain in the variable. Okay, it's not this one. Copy. Going to set and just I want to show one more. I want to compare. Here is the metadata JSON. Here. Yeah, look at here. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to run one more time. Create a clone before we do it. Okay. So since we dropped the table, we cannot run it. So just I want to show that. That's why you need to make sure before the drop the table, you have to get the most recent JSON. Okay. That was intent of me showing that for dropping table, nothing works there. So now I have my metadata, the JSON, which is just before our snapshot expired. Then I'm going to create a procedure. This is my snapshot expired, and I'm going to register the table, right? As if it is kind of undo. So I want to go. You guys go back and watch the undo the table. Um, YouTube, you will understand how undo works. Okay, and so then I'm register the table. Now, since my table back, then I have a back to the count. Okay, back to the count, and my table is there. And then now look at the snapshots. Okay, now back to my restore my snapshot. Then I'm going to do my time travel, right? Using this. Remember we did that one. Time travel. One more. Okay, got my 8 close. Okay, let's reduce to 7. Okay, and because here we have only 4 rows, right? At this here we have 8 rows, so we should be able to do that. So this is how you restore a table time travel information, particularly when you expire. All you need to do is, as I said, right, um, restore the files, right? These files, because these are expired, back to the same directory. So only you're restoring only these 2 files, because you only copy, not the data. You don't need to, because the data files are still there. Okay. The question is, what if the data files are deleted? Right? Yes. Then you need to do a dry runs before expire, then understand what files are being deleted, and then you need to copy those data files. So generally when we expire by each partition wise, right? So you can do that, or a snapshot wise, right? So if the data files are deleted and only metadata is copied, then it will not work. Okay. So in our example, the assumption is the data files are not deleted. Only the manifest list and manifest file is deleted as a part of expiration. But if the data files is deleted, that means you need to also make a backup of the data directory. Now, you know what, how many snapshots are being deleted, then the files belongs to those snapshots. You just only make a backup of those, right? So part of your expiration, how many snapshots you are expiring, the list of snapshot is going to expire, then find the files belongs to those snapshot, make a backup. You don't have to backup the entire. So in our case, for example, we're going to delete, right? Then you need to make a copy of this file. Then you need to restore. So that's how you need to plan it. But yeah, so yeah, we should be able to in HDFS, for example, these when you expire, automatically this goes to cache, right? Then you can copy those files from the cache in HDFS. In S3, you have to do some manual backup. So that's how you need to plan on it. So look for it that way, and so but still, this method helps you if you are expiring, accidentally expiring a snapshot. Okay. So reach out to me. Any questions? This is my contact info. Have fun. Thank you all.